Today on Real Talk with Zeb, I'm all the way up here at Upton Boxing Center. Today I have Coach Kenny Ellis. How you doing today, sir?
I'm doing good.
Let's jump right into it. When did you discover the love for boxing?
Oh man, I must have been about 12, 13. I really started loving it when Sugar Ray beat Hearns the first time. I think that was in 1980, 81. That's when I really realized that I liked boxing.
Once you discovered that love for boxing, did you start to pursue gyms at that time or talk to coaches about getting into the sport?
Well, as a kid, I had my share of fights. My dad always said, I'm going to take you to a gym, And one day, a friend of mine had a trophy, a boxing trophy. And that was the most beautiful trophy I ever seen. Because everybody in the neighborhood had football trophies and basketball trophies, but that boxing trophy was something different about it.
What was the gym where you started?
Mac Lewis.
Oh, the legendary Mr. Mac. Talk about the legendary Mr. Mac.
Man.
And what he means to the sport of boxing and the city of Baltimore.
Man, Mac Lewis had the gym for over 60 years, man. He changed the lives of so many men, young men, helped them get through the peer pressure. Not all of them didn't become great professional fighters, but it helped them in life, confidence, build confidence in life.
Now, during that time, when you first really got into the boxing, was you solely focused on that, or were you like me and Malik talk? Did you have a part of you that also wanted to be outside of the gym also as well?
Yeah, I was in the gym pretty focused, but as I got toward 18, 19, my last fight was in 1992. I was in the streets heavy. I was living two lives. God forgive me, but.
How did Coach Mac feel about that at the time?
Mac Lewis, he give everybody the same lecture, You can't have one foot in the street and one in the gym, and I give the same lecture around.
You give the same lecture?
I finally experienced what he was talking about.
Well, actually, my mother actually thought I was going to die.
In the streets?
Yeah, my mother actually thought I was going to die. My father thought the same thing. Because, I was getting into too much trouble hanging around wrong dudes and stuff like that. So, but
during that time, was you still talking about with the 1 foot in, 1 foot out in the gym? Now, during that time, like you said, with the 1 foot in, 1 foot out in the streets, did Coach Ellis and Coach Calvin come to you with a serious talk?
Yeah, they definitely came. They definitely came to me and said, Malik, you can't have 1 foot in the gym and 1 foot in the streets. Because actually one of my cousins that used to train here, his name was Angelo Wood, he was doing the same thing. He got killed. One of my gym mates here that trained here, Ronald Gibbs, I looked at him as a big brother. Everybody here looked at him as a big brother. Me, Tank, Truck, all of us looked at him as a big brother. He got stabbed for defending his sister.
Yeah, I was actually going to ask you about that.
So he wanted me to, they actually pulled me in the office. They said, Malik, you cannot have 1 foot in the gym and 1 foot in the street. It's not going to work. They said, because if you got 1 foot in the streets and 1 foot in the gym, them people come in here and they keep waiting for you to come outside, and y'all go do something stupid. Then you wind up getting killed or you going to jail. And we're going to be hurt behind that.
So I preach the same thing.
What is it about the sport of boxing that you decided that you wanted to make that your life's work?
Now that I'm not boxing anymore, it's my strength. I developed strength through it, to pass it on to the next generation. When they're in here training, they're not out there in the streets. When you hear them gunshots go off, I got a group of kids in here that's not being shot.
And I think that's a pretty good thing, especially with the summer coming. You know how it can get in the summertime, hot Baltimore summertime.
Exactly. So when you come in here and you see a group of kids in here, it's a safe haven.
And that's a good thing to see. Mm-hmm. So do you find that often, because I remember I talked to Coach Calvin about it, where parents want to send their youth up here to keep them out the streets.
Yeah.
Are there times when you notice that they're not going to turn out to be a good boxer, but you still want to give them the discipline?
Right, because everybody's not going to be champion, but they still travel and learn the world, learn how to get on airplanes and, and learn that it's more to the world than Baltimore, because a lot of the kids, they grew up and never step outside the city their whole entire life. We had one kid came in the door He was 21 years old. He'd never been outside of West Baltimore, and that's not his fault, you know. So when they come here, they learn that it's bigger than Baltimore, you know.
So they get the exposure to expand on their dreams and like.
We had one kid. He'd never seen a live rabbit in his life. We took a kid to D.C. He saw Washington Monument, the White House for the first time, and he was 20-something years old.
Wow.
So you know, we love it when we take them out there and they experience that, you know.
Who were your favorite fighters growing up, and what made them so special to you?
Man, Larry Holmes. To this day, he the baddest heavyweight. Sugar Ray Leonard. Larry Holmes, Sugar Ray Leonard, and I'm gonna have to go with Marvin Hagler.
That's my man. Oh my.
Baddest middleweight ever.
My favorite fighter of all time, man.
Now, I like Sugar Ray Robinson, but I think Hagler had more dog in it.
And the things that he went through during that time.
Right, he went through the ups and downs, and he stuck with it. You know, we had a couple fighters here that's going through it, but they stuck with it, and then they paid off at the end for him.
Yeah, I love Hagler's career, just to see how he came up through the amateurs and how when he decided not to go to the Olympics and Sugar Ray went to the Olympics and how he got a lot of the accolades. I mean, they was on the same bill one time, and one night he only got the 40,000. I think Sugar Ray made what? No,
Sugar Ray made it something.
40,000 and
Right.
Hagler only what, 400 or something?
No, million. When he fought.
That's right. Yeah, I'm mixing it up. 40,000 and a million was.
Right. But I do like Boom Boom Man Senior too. He was one of my favorites coming up. Yeah.
I always think about that Hagler fight when he fought
Mugabe?
No, Mentor. When he got booed and the way they treated him after.
They robbed him the first time in the rematch.
In the rematch in England when they threw every. Yeah, man.
That bed stuff at him.
Do you think right after that incident that really just? Because I think he knocked 5 people out right after.
I mean, it built up, and he just went crazy.
What do you think about that Hagler Sugar Ray fight? Being from the DC area, I know everybody loves Sugar Ray down there, but Hagler was my man.
Well,
I know Sugar Ray Palmer Park.
Speed always gave Hagler a problem, and I think that's what that speed from Ray is what did it. Then the last 10 seconds, you know, each round, Sugar Ray put the icing on the cake. He was winning the rounds, but the last 10, he put the icing on the cake to make sure he locked that round down.
Oh, that's what's up, man. Who are your top 3 pound-for-pound fighters of all time? And talk about how each are special in their own way.
Larry Holmes.
What is it about Larry Holmes that
Larry Holmes, man, he came through an era, man, where the contenders were former champions. He fought the top. Either they were champion or former champion. There wasn't no cab drivers. He earned it. He earned it, man. Larry Holmes earned it. To me, he the baddest heavyweight ever.
you think his punch power was more powerful than George Foreman?
No, but he had enough power. Yeah, to get your respect. Just because a person is stronger than you don't mean he can take your punch.
In your opinion, who's the greatest fighter of all time?
The greatest? Oh man, I don't want to. I like.
Because it's all based on opinion.
When you say
anyway.
the greatest, if it's not Muhammad Ali, people look at it as disrespect because that's his slogan. But I like Larry Holmes. Larry Holmes.
That's your man, huh?
Man, he earned it. He earned it.
You have the nickname the Bible. How did you get that nickname, and how did that all come about?
Well, Calvin gave it to me, but everybody backed it up because I've been around boxing for years. I don't know everything about boxing, but I know a lot. And some people study it, but I don't study it. I just know some things. You know, if you pop a question right now, I might not get it, but if we out and about, you pop it. For some reason, I know the answer. Right now, it's a little stressful, so I probably won't get it. You know.
How did the love of watching old fights come about?
Oh man, I watch boxing, man. Every single day for the last 38 years, I watch boxing somewhere, DVD, YouTube, live on TV. It's just something that I do. You gotta study your craft, you know what I mean? You learn more and more, you know? And besides what I already know, I just learn more to add to it.
And that's one of the things that you pass on to your fighters here, exactly. The love of watching old fights.
And stuff. A lot of coaches today, they don't teach boxing. They train you, but they really don't teach you the tricks and stuff. You know, I can take a fighter right now and show him something. He probably been boxing for 10, 15 years, and nobody ever showed that to him. And I can show him something.
Speaking on that, one of the unique things here at Upton, as far as training, because I was looking at an interview you had one time, where with your amateurs, you train them like a professional, so they'll be ready.
So when they turn pro, you don't have to make that transition. Some fighters fight so many amateur fights, and then when they turn pro, they get stuck in that amateur mode.
When did that discovery come about that you wanted to train the athletes to a form of a more pro style at the amateur ranks?
Well, that's just the way I train. You know.
You've always had that.
Yeah, that's just
philosophy.
That's just the way I train. Yeah.
How's that been working out so far?
It worked out good, but in the amateurs, like let's say Malik Warren, he has a. When I started working with him, I started teaching him the pro style, and then it started conflicting. In
the point system with the point system
was different. And also Malik Hawkins, he had a pro style. Oh man, he held his hands like a professional when he was a kid. That's why he's so good today. You know.
From watching old fights, who do you discover had the best footwork in the business? Who had the best? We're gonna start with that one first. Just looking at the old fights, who had the best footwork in the business? You feel?
There's so many fighters. Iron Pride footwork was unbelievable. They had a battle with 125. Gonzalez or something. I forgot his name. His footwork was unreal. Sugar Ray Leonard footwork. Sugar Ray Robinson footwork. There's so many of them. I can go on and on.
Yeah, I was just wondering, just from you watching the old fights.
Iron Pride, man, his footwork was unbelievable. He had his chin in there, but his footwork. Watch Iron Pride fights and just look at his feet. Oh man, the way he positioned himself, man.
Who had the best hands? Looking at the old fights.
It depends on what you're looking at. Like Sugar Ray was the best finisher, I think. The best hands. Sugar Ray Robinson had good hands. There's so many of them you can choose from.
Who you think the best fighter is in the ring, IQ-wise? Because people know you have to strategize in boxing in the ring. It's not checkers, it's chess. It's a science, the sweet science.
I'm going to have to go with Floyd Mayweather. He got a great IQ. Sugar Ray Leonard's IQ is awesome. It's a list of them, man. They have good IQ. But nobody perfected like Ray Leonard and Floyd. You know? Nobody perfected like that.
How has technology changed to where you train a fighter differently from the past?
Well, in the past, fighters, they did basic stuff. They would run, hit the speed bag, do their sit-ups, a little bit of push-ups, and hit. That was it. But today, they got all this new machine technology, built superpower, and they training to hurt you more today than they were yesterday.
Have you experimented with some of the new technologies, or you strictly old school?
Yeah, I'm mixing in. You're mixing in because you got to keep up with what's going on, or you're going to find yourself flat on your back.
Talk about the growth of Upton Boxing Center from the beginning to now, and where do you see Upton in the next few years?
Oh man, Upton Boxing, man. We've been here for I think 14 years, and we have created. I ain't gonna say created. We developed over 35 national champions. One world champion and a host of regional champions in the pros. So we've grown a lot in 13 years, and some gyms don't do that in 20 years.
Because one of the questions I asked Coach Calvin was, is Upton safe in the neighborhood? Because of what you see with the gentrification in most of the black inner cities. Matter of fact, I think they made an announcement where they're actually going to be starting a renovation of the different sections in West Baltimore.
Oh.
Yeah, I think it was in the Baltimore Sun they was talking about it, starting to do redevelopment, I guess, for new housing in the area. So yeah, I was just wondering, had you heard about it, anything about that?
I didn't hear nothing about
Yeah,
that.
it's crazy. It's almost like how you seeing like what happened to DC. It's no longer Chocolate City. So I'm thinking you're seeing that in most of the
Yeah, I mean, I've
cities.
seen entire houses and stuff now, but I haven't read anything about it yet.
What's life for a kid growing up in West Baltimore?
Man, it's tough, man, because they go through so much with the drugs and the murder rate, you know what I mean? And a lot of the kids, man, their dad is either dead or in jail. They're being raised by their grandparents, and 50% of them are on drugs. So when a kid gets 12, 13 years old, they basically on their own.
Have you found situations like that?
Yeah, I used to feed some kids that was in, over the years of coming to gym, and they didn't know where their next meal was coming from. And I would take them after training and give them something to eat.
You know, that's interesting that you say that, because my mother was a public school teacher in DC, and she would do the same thing. She would take food to school because she said a lot of students went to bed hungry and woke up hungry. So
and a lot of the kids fail in school because the trauma that's going on outside. You know, if you see your cousin or your best friend gunned down in the street, and you gotta go to school the next day, there's no way you can pass because you sit in class visualizing the blood that you saw, and they start flunking. It's not just because they don't know the word, they can't concentrate. You see your uncle being slammed by the Baltimore City, I ain't gonna say Baltimore City, by the police.
By the police, yeah.
And that's on your mind while you sit in class,
Talk about the bond you had with Coach Calvin, and how did that friendship with Coach Calvin come about?
I understand his personality. Some people don't, so they just don't understand him. I understand him when he say I know he mean we, but people don't understand that.
Do people try to bring division between y'all and stuff?
Over the years, people try. I have coaches call me. I pay you to come over here. Not coaches, but other gyms.
Yeah.
To tear us apart, people still trying to tear us apart in so many ways. They're trying to be slick, but they're trying to pull fighters from us in so many ways. But I've been around the game so long, I've seen it all. But Calvin don't mean nothing but good for the youth, man. And I would never turn him back on him because somebody else is not feeling him or understanding him.
What's the one thing you and Coach Calvin butt heads about?
I like knockouts, and Calvin likes for fighters to beat their opponent up before they knock him out. I want to get it over with.
Oh, you want it over with?
Yeah, less punches you take. Go home.
The Tyson style.
Yeah, just get it over with. But if you have to go the distance, be in shape to go the distance. That's where we bump heads at.
Going through the trials and tribulations of life, one of the questions I always like to ask on Real Talk with Zeb is life struggles and how you overcome. What's the toughest thing you had to deal with in your life, and how did you overcome it?
The worst thing I had to deal with was my mother passing away. Oh, man. As a kid, I always said to myself that I wanted to die before my parents, but it didn't go that way. When she passed away, man, I didn't show it, but behind closed doors, man, it was a hurt piece. It's like you have 10 trees in your yard, and one is missing, but you can't figure out what's missing. That's how I feel. It was like that for years, 12 years. Hey, something missing, but what is it? But, you just don't get, that void is there forever, and this will always be there. My mother she was my heart. But every single night, I would talk to her on the phone, make sure she good, make sure my dad good, you need anything, but I talked to my mom every single night. She passed away, a couple times I would call her phone just to hear her voice on the answer service. And then as time went on, the phone died or whatever, you couldn't, but for a long time I would just listen to her, answer service, just to hear her voice.
How tough is it around the holidays, especially like with Mother's Day?
The first 5, 6 years was hard, but I'm over it now. I don't go around people like I used to, where I'm wrong, but I'm getting over it. Not because I don't want to be around them, but when I'm around certain people, I feel like my mother should still be there because she was always there. You know, family functions. Her spirit is there, but she's not there, you know. But it's getting better. They probably, where's Kenny at? What's going on with Kenny? But it's building up.
What's the one thing people would be surprised to know about you?
Well, people first meet me, before they meet me, they try to judge me by the way that I look, and once they get to know me, they always say, I thought you was mean. But I wake up to laugh, man. I laugh all day, every day. I'll find something to laugh at, and then they really realize, oh man, you cool. I feel like I've been knowing you forever, but that's all I do is joke. I joke so much they don't know if I'm serious or not when I'm telling the truth about something.
What brings you joy on the daily?
What's that?
What brings you joy on the daily?
Life.
Life.
That's it. Life. You know, people walk around taking stuff all serious all the time, and it's not that serious. It's what you make it. It's what you make it. But I laugh all day, every day.
Going back into the gym, what's the best way to improve on your boxing skills?
Train hard every day and listening to your coach.
As a fighter, would you say
Train hard.
The most important skill to learn as a boxer is what?
The most important skills?
To learn would you say to listen?
Listen and hold your hands up. Hold your hands up.
You know, we're right here in the weight room right now. How does lifting weights affect the boxer?
If you lift too much, you don't want to lift too much because you get that roundness and then you start swinging these haymakers. But you just need a little bit of weight to stay cut. You know, keep that strength.
Do you find some trainers frown upon that?
Some trainers don't lift weights at all, but sometimes you need just a little bit.
Just need a little bit.
Not too much.
What makes a boxer a great fighter?
His ability to do what he do and his IQ.
Will it also be?
Sometimes it could be the power. Every fighter has their own DNA and their own strength. You can teach a fighter something, but when he get in that ring, you can teach him to go in the right direction, but in actuality, they have their own leverage.
And they should have the ability to adjust on the fly also?
Yeah.
How important is that skill to be able to have the ability to adjust?
Some fighters go at one speed until they get the job done. Some of them can box, some of them can bang, some of them are versatile, but you can take 10 kids off the street that never boxed a day in their life and put them in the ring. They're going to either try to bang or they're going to try to move, not knowing what they're really doing, but you just take it from that and add to it.
I want to talk about legendary fights. What are your top 3 legendary fights?
Hearns and Haglund.
Definitely. That was a war.
George Foreman and Frank Lyles. It's so many.
It's so many though, yeah. But I just wanted to find out what stood out for you.
My favorite is Hearns and Haglund.
I think that was mine too. What, 165 punches about in 180 seconds?
Mm-hmm. Haglund and Mugabe, that's another one.
I like that.
Great fight.
Talk about the tight bond you have with Malik Iceman Hawkins and what makes him so special to you. Because I can see the tight bond that you have. Not saying that you don't with all the other.
Malik, man, when he was a kid, he held his hands up and he never threw wild punches. And he would miss time out in the gym. He might start the gym for a month or something. He'd come in and he hold his own. You know, as he matured, I knew the kid was special back then because when you get a kid that can come in the gym and hold his own like a pro when he's small, the older he get, the better he gonna get.
How proud of you are of him?
I'm very proud.
And what he's accomplishing and what he went through to get to this point.
I'm proud he kept his composure through all the BS, the promotional deals that he had, manager deals that he had, but he's in good hands now. He got the best manager in the game right now. I'm proud of him for just hanging in there through the thick,
Through the thick and the thin.
Yeah, through the thick and the thin.
Let's talk about the summer 2019 Big fight here this summer. Javante Tank Davis.
Oh man.
Man, it's gonna be crazy.
We need that because the city they need something. We got the Baltimore Ravens, the Baltimore Orioles, and we got Upton boxing, Javante Davis. And it'll show the kids that if you stick with something, great things will happen. And Javante Davis and all the other kids that come out of here, they're sticking with it, you know.
How important is that to the city of Baltimore? Because that fight is going to take place in Baltimore.
It's bringing revenue to the city. Anything downtown, stay open late because you're gonna make money. Yeah, it's gonna bring money to the city.
Well, any other, I don't know if you can talk about it or not yet, are any other fighters here going to be on the undercard? And do you know who?
It's talk, I don't know who, but it's talk that quite a few of them going to be on the undercard.
I've been hearing rumblers, I won't say who, but yeah, I heard.
Not yet.
Yeah, not yet, definitely not yet, but I've been definitely hearing the rumblers. I'll keep that quiet for that.
Oh man,
Yes,
that's
sir.
a beautiful sight. See, all the fighters from the gym on the undercard. That's going to be something.
Now, for those that don't know, man, you have a daughter who boxes.
Yeah,
Talk about that.
Mia Killer B. I started training Mia when she was, actually, when she came home from the hospital, held on my arms, we watched videotapes, and she started walking, mimicking what she saw on videos, put gloves on, and started bringing her in when she was 5. I trained her in the basement until she was 4. And then we go home and train in the basement more, but she started actually coming in when she was 5. And she's 19 now. And she will be pro in 2 more years.
How hard was it to see your baby get hit for the first time?
It wasn't hard because I knew she, if she didn't like it, she wouldn't come back to the gym. But that's the testament. She kept coming, so I said she's good with it. She's good with it.
Talk about because actually she's about to be in the process of turning pro, correct?
Yeah, 2 more years. We're doing a 50-state challenge first.
Yes, I wanted to talk about that. The 50-state challenge. Talk about the 50-state challenge.
We're going to challenge a girl in her weight class in every state.
How long would that process take?
We're thinking about doing two fights a month, so 2 years.
Ooh.
Yeah, we do 2 fights a month, around 2 years. And after that, that'll give her enough experience to turn pro. She can turn pro now, but I just wanted to have that much more experience.
With that being said, will that take you away from here?
No.
Okay.
Because we can move in between fight dates and stuff.
You managed that a lot, because I think one time went from, I heard in the interview, it was like you was in one state one night and Florida the next day.
The next day we was in California.
Yeah.
Yeah, we just get on the planes and go. And now she's at the age where she can travel to camp with us. She can be part of the camp, so it's going to be easy to manage it,
Hey man, I want to say I really appreciate your time
I
today,
appreciate you, man.
Coach
Anytime.
Kenny. Man, for y'all opening your doors to me, making me feel welcome. I really appreciate it, man. And as we're wrapping things up, what would you like for people to know about Coach Kenny?
That I'm an easygoing person, and that's it.
That's it.
That's it.
Hey man, once again, I really appreciate your time. On Real Talk with Zeb, I have Coach
Appreciate
Kenny Ellis, aka The Bible.
I'm getting a little thin up top. Don't y'all laugh at me now.
We both are. But once again, I really appreciate your time today. It's going to be a great summer up here with the Javante Tank Davis
It's
fight.
gonna be off the chain, man.
Looking forward to it, and we out.
Make it work. Teamwork, make the dream work.